See, perfect timing. What's up, Inkling? Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is the earliest one I've done in a while. Feel like that. Okay. What's up, Wither? How you doing? Let's not waste too much time here. Let's start digging. I'm doing a pretty early one today as I have places I need to be later today, so let's do this. It's a little unlucky. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm caffeinated and ready to do a little bit of digging. I think today's stream, depending on how things go, I can do 2 to 3 hours at most. Hard cutoff would be 3 hours. Just depends on how I feel, though. But yeah, I do have places to be after that, so. Mm-hmm. Oh. I do feel like I drank, like, just slightly too much coffee, but not enough to really matter, I think. Let's do this. swear, there's like some days where I can speed bridge just fine, and then other days where I literally can't do it for like a block without falling. I really should just learn the technique. It's on the wrong Y level. There we go. Okay, there we go. Wish I built the path over here instead. I don't know why I didn't. This a little easier to traverse. There we go. I don't know. He's just chilling. At least until I get rid of his habitat. Imagine being locked up because you mined too many chunks. Penta, how you doing? Grilled for work. I'm very glad I do not work today. I love wage slaving for 50 to 60 years and then we die. Honestly, when I was doing OSA completion, that's exactly how I thought about work, to be honest. It's like, wow. All this time that I could be spent getting more clears and completing OSU faster, spent doing this stupid job. Such is life, such is life. Yeah, but like money, I'd rather have rank score than USD personally. Rather have blocks mined than dollars. Also, I need to remind myself what Y level this stops at. I think this is gonna be 18. Yeah. So we still got a few more hours at the very least of digging for this ring. Might have to do one more tool repair session. We'll see though. Probably not today, but before we finish this ring. Because obviously we're not going to finish this today. I think there's not enough time for that. Even if I dug literally as fast as I could. Slab. Return the slab. Just one slab. That's what all this was for. You should be able to make an obsidian slab. Okay, hold on. Let's craft some of this coal into blocks. Actually, yeah, we'll just do that for now. Oh, wait, yeah. I think I keep one here. Honestly, I don't really need to. Could just do that. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. I should finish the chunk. On it. What's up, Pretzel? How you doing? Nice. Yeah, I I'm gonna be pretty busy later today, so today is definitely a good opportunity to do an EU friendly stream. Because I just literally won't be able to stream later today. That's fine. I love tariffs. I love the stock market. I love economy, money, society. We live in a society after all. That is true. Milk is good protein, but I personally cannot and will not drink a milk of glass or glass of milk. Like I just one, I don't think it's really that good for me. Like I don't think my stomach would like that. Yeah, milk of glass. But like even if like my stomach would be fine with it, I just find it kind of gross to just drink straight milk. Like just nothing added to it, just milk in a cup. Raw milk. Oh god. You sound like the person running the FDA currently. Or in charge of it. Oh yeah, I love cheese. But I personally do not like just milk on its own. Also, yeah, I mean, obviously a chocolate cereal will make it a lot better, but that's not really healthy. Oh yeah, mac and cheese is awesome. Like, I'm fine with things that have milk in it, or use milk as the base, but not just milk on its own. Healthy, just don't forget about all that sugar. Why would you ever pour the milk before the cereal? That doesn't make any sense. Unless you just want more milk than cereal. What's up, Gary? How you doing? Good. Just doing some digging. Yeah, like it really just doesn't make sense to pour the cereal or pour the milk before the cereal. Why? Pretty simple, really. Why does anyone play video games? To have fun, of course. And I find it fun to dig a giant hole in the ground, so that is exactly what I'm doing. Not too much to it aside from that. How is this fun? Well, you know, sometimes you just have that urge to dig a big hole in Minecraft, and then you act upon that urge, and you start digging. And then you keep digging, and then you keep digging. That's pretty much how. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much more to it aside from that. I'm pretty much just digging a big hole in the ground because I can and want to. It is funny, but it's also more fun than funny to me. That is true. We are digging technically a pyramid. It's more of like a big staircase than a pyramid, in my opinion. Because we're not really changing the height of it to be more pointy. Why didn't the ancient Egyptians just use netherite pickaxes? I've actually still not watched the movie yet. I didn't have an opportunity to watch it yet. I was going to, but it just, like, that day would have been a bad day to watch the movie. So we're probably gonna do that on, like, Monday, I think. Because I'll go with my girlfriend to go watch it. I haven't seen too many people's reaction on it, but I feel like the small amount of consensus I've heard is that it's mid, which sounds about right to me. I would not expect it to be a good movie. Mid is pretty good nowadays. Ugh. I don't know, I'm just gonna say, like, I think the movie I'm producing right here might be a little better. See, if Jack Black was actually doing that, then it would be a 10 out of 10 movie. Nope, I had no idea. Dead event. And they give you capes for doing anything now. I remember when capes were, like, actually hard to get in this game. Like, you basically either had to be a developer or you had to be, like, a Minecon attendee. Or just be, like, a very special person. Dang, they couldn't even wait a week until after the movie was released. Yeah, but it's not signed by Jack Black, it's signed by Steve. Oh. Maybe. I wouldn't buy it, personally. You should make a business where you sell businesses. Why has nobody done this? No, but like you sell literally an entire business. Like you already have the business running and then you just sell the business to someone. Okay, wait, guys, I have a better idea. So what if I create a business and then I have people under me who do the business for me, and then they have people below them who do business for them, kind of in like a triangle shape, and you just keep doing that. It's genius. What? No, nothing like that could possibly exist. Definitely not an MLM or anything like that. It's not even close to similar. Perhaps. Perhaps we call it a pyramid plan. Exactly. And eventually it'll get to the point where it's just free money for everyone. Also, wait. Oh, that's a geode. I was like, what is that? Infinite money glitch. Water. Get out of here. See, the government only allows themselves to do the infinite money glitch. They don't allow us poors to do it. They don't want us to have the good stuff. Also, hold on. I think I got a message. The government is literally able to print free money, yet they tax us for money. We truly live in a society. This is not legal or financial advice, but you should print money on your home printer. It's free money. Oh, they tax your money a lot more than twice. At least in America, they tax it on every purchase. Even if you do nothing with your money and then die, they'll still tax your money after you're dead. And then you still have to pay more tax depending on if you actually had enough tax taken out of your paycheck or not, either. Or if you made a certain amount of money or whatever. Pretzel, identifying as a sovereign citizen, gets deported because he's not a US citizen. Excellent move. You know, obviously assuming you were saying this in the US. Dang, look at how pretty this is. So nice. Convince your boss to pay in crypto? You might have to teach your boss what crypto is before you could ever convince them. I don't think my boss knows what crypto is or could understand. Can't say for certain, though. Imagine being paid in Bitcoin. I mean, to be fair, Pretzel, they probably just won't let you in. Oh, there we go. Another chicken. I didn't mean to throw all the eggs, but that's fine. Here, I bet you there's eggs just laying around somewhere. Oh yeah, there's plenty over here. I forgot how many chickens there are, and they're all like on the edge too. That's crazy. Why are they doing that? Also, where was I? Oh, it was over here. Dang, none of those hatched? I don't know if you're being serious about the crypto thing. I personally would not want to be paid in crypto. I do not trust cryptocurrency in any way at all. I have no faith in them. I mean, I don't really have faith in currency regardless, but especially not crypto. Oh, that is not my water bucket. I mean, not to say that government money is more real or less real, but like, I think it is a lot easier to trust something that, like, at least has some basis in reality. Maybe I just don't understand, but frankly, I just cannot and will not trust Bitcoin or crypto in general. Correct. I do not think it would be wise, for example, to put all of my savings into Bitcoin or something, considering how volatile something like that is. Like, yeah, obviously other currencies can fluctuate a lot, but usually, especially for like USD, like it doesn't fluctuate enough to where it actually impacts me day to day, month to month, like in a very quick sense. Yeah, like I would not want my money to fluctuate literally on a minute by minute basis. Yeah, yeah. If you're going to do crypto, you probably want to at least diversify the coins you use, or just don't literally put everything into crypto. Make sure you have enough regular cash reserves that if somehow crypto just dies overnight, you're still fine. Even if you end up losing a lot. That's if I wanted to do crypto, that's how I would do it. I would only invest what I'm comfortable losing, basically. Not a single cent more. Because to me, it just really feels like kind of like gambling. Like, it's not exactly gambling, but it may as well be. Oh boy, spider spawner down here? Yeah, let's get rid of this. Then, for now, block that off. Oh, ouch. Oh, I didn't actually fully block it off. Who's there? Who's there? This is not gonna take the rest of my life. Unless I die before I finish this, I guess, then maybe it would. Chicken who? I gotta know who the chicken is. Chicken jockey. Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I think I'm going to keep avoiding cryptocurrency. Not chicken jockey, no. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Deep Slate doesn't actually take an infinite amount of time. There's actually a certain amount of time it takes, and it's not a completely unreasonable amount of time, it's just a long time. At least if I put in a decent amount of time to this project, it literally would not take more than 3 years to finish this. And that's less time than I spent on Osu completion, for example. Like, that's how much time this would take. Less time than Osu completion took me. Well, that's cool. Good job, Mr. Beast. However, I am doing this alone. So it's more impressive. And also, I don't have tens of millions of dollars to spend on digging chunks like he does. Yeah, I think, like, all of the Deep Slate is, like, probably gonna be around 2,000 hours. But that's, like, I think closer to worst case scenario than not. It really just depends on how many air pockets and non-Deep Slate blocks there are. But, again, like, that's still gonna be less time than Osu completion was, by a significant margin. Like, we're gonna reach Deep Slate by, like, I don't know, like 600 hours, probably? Like, we're only, like, 420, 430 hours in, and we've already mined 10.6 million of the blocks. So like, and for reference, Osu completion took me, like, 4,100 hours or something like that. I think that's what I calculated last time. Or at least that's how much playtime it took me, which obviously is not the same thing as real time or anything like that. So if anything, completion took even longer than I think it took. Probably closer to 5,000 to 6,000 hours. Or, okay, maybe not that much, but like safe estimate is probably around 5,000 hours. Yeah, that too. Like, I'm also thinking in my head, I've never seen anyone just pay for, like, a normal grocery run with cryptocurrency, for example. Like, you're not gonna do that with crypto. Exactly. You use it as, like, either holding or investing money, basically. Or trying to get more money. Yeah. So this project probably is gonna take at most 2/3 of the time that I took for OSA completion. So if you really think I can't do that, then uh you are mistaken. Well, I do need the motivation though. That I think that's gonna be the hardest part. The hardest part is not doing the digging, it's making sure I keep the motivation to dig. Yeah. I guess it was more you're just not aware on how long this would actually take. It's not as bad as you would imagine. Yeah, so completion took me 5 years of like real time. Because I started in May of 2019 and then finished in March of 2023. So, like I said, this project probably won't take me longer than 3 years of like real time. Depending on how much time I put in, I could even finish it end of next year if I pushed really hard on it. But obviously that's probably not going to be the case. But yeah, governments won't allow cryptos. Yeah, I mean, there's just not a reason for a normal person, like everyday normal person, to put a lot of money into something like Bitcoin or anything like that. Unless you really just want to gamble your money. But I guess in like a theoretical sense, Bitcoin is not technically that different from USD. Like USD is not really real anyways. I mean, it's not even tied to gold anymore. So you could argue that government money is not any more real than Bitcoin, but I think in a practical sense it is because of the applications of how it's used. Even if technically they aren't that different. You just will not spend your you just won't go grocery shopping with Bitcoin. That's just not how it works right now. Like even if you wanted to, I feel like it'd be hard to find a place that accepts Bitcoin as like a legitimate currency. Scam alert. I mean, that's honestly how I feel about it anyways. Literally since I first heard about Bitcoin, I'm like, I do not trust this. I think I've seen a very small amount of physical locations, like in real life, that actually accept Bitcoin. It's super rare. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in like the $80,000 range for one whole Bitcoin. Which, by the way, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, obviously, Bitcoin is not a real physical coin, but to have a coin, a quote unquote coin, be worth $82,000 is like what is that even? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Gray market purchases, yeah, I think that's generally the best use case scenario for like actually spending your Bitcoin. Like, you can use it for gray or black market purchases. I'm not sure why I would want to purchase a house in India, but cool. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while, but I think I don't live in India. Yeah, I don't doubt that India could be nice, but I just literally don't live there, so. Again, as far as I'm aware, maybe the Indian government took over the US overnight and I wasn't paying attention, but I mean, I think there was like a pretty famous like old story about Bitcoin. I forgot the exact number, but I think some dude spent like 10,000 Bitcoin to buy a pizza or something like that. And now like the price of like that much Bitcoin is astronomical. Like, that is literally multi-generational type of money at that point. I mean, I don't actually know the price of Bitcoin, but let's say it's like around $80,000 times 10,000. That's $800 million. So, yeah, that is easily multi-generational wealth. Nearly $1 billion pizza. Two Papa John pizzas in 2010. Okay. So theoretically, either that Papa John's or the business in general has $800 million of Bitcoin sitting somewhere. Unless it was like a third party transaction, like I assume Papa John didn't accept Bitcoin in 2010, so I don't really understand how that works. But I didn't read the article, so They briefly did. That early, though? Also, hold on one sec. Man, literally everyone involved in that transaction has to be kicking themselves for eternity. That is insane. Like, obviously, that, like, someone had to be the person to actually use it as a currency for it to have any value at all. But, man, that has to hurt. Even if it is just theoretical money anyways, it's just like... Yeah, and see that's what I thought it was. Someone paying someone else to get them pizza. Because again, these places would not have accepted Bitcoin in 2010. Literally nowhere did. It was way too early for that. Either way, I would be hurting if I knew I gave away a ridiculous amount of money, even if at the time it really wasn't. It would be hard not to think about that, at least from time to time. Where did this zombie come from? What's up, Wispy? How you doing? Oh no, it was 100,000. I thought it was 10,000. Oh, that's so much worse. Wait, hold on. Okay, right now, Bitcoin. Oh wow, Bitcoin's been going down. Bitcoin's down 7% in the last 5 days. Actually, it's down 5% like today, apparently. Jeez. Okay, so it's only at 79,000 now. And see, that's what I mean. Like, Bitcoin changes way too much. Yeah, that's set. That's basically, let's round it up to $8 billion today. That's ridiculous. Also, wait. Got your 22nd ranked. Wow, this guy's ranking stuff. Nice job, nice job. Map set maxing indeed. Yep, that is Wispy's map set right there. What do I think about the world generation mods? I've never really messed around with mods like that. Also, I think I saw a comment on the beat map that said that's the longest easy difficulty map in the game now. I think that actually has to be true. Because I can only think of like one or two that are even like in the 6 or 7 minute range. No, well, okay, I mean, Linkin Park is easy, but it's not literally an easy diff. That's like a hard, I believe, or like a very difficult normal, but I think it's a hard diff technically. Yeah, like literally easy star rating. You know, Pretzel, I've literally thought about this idea before, if you can believe that. I thought it would be really funny in the past to make a in like an ultra beginner diff of like a bunch of Toho songs and just make it like an hour plus long, but it's literally like 1 star. So you're just sitting there vibing to music rather than actually playing. Like it's literally mapped like an ultra beginner, and it's the only diff. We have to make it. I still think it'd be a really funny idea. It's especially if they had to do on laser, because then they would have to be perfectly accurate the entire map. I mean, even on OD0, that would still get be a little difficult because you'd have to focus for that long. At least somewhat. But it probably would be an OD like 0 or 1 map. I forgot what the beat map stats of Miro Ultra Beginner is. If USS players complaining about the map set. Okay, I mean, the thing is with speed, SS players definitely want the map stats to be literally as easy as possible, so... Unless you made it literally OD0, they would have complained. CS2 rest is 0. Okay, that makes sense. And I mean, technically CS2 is, at least when Miro Ultra Beginner was ranked, the lowest CS you could rank. You couldn't do CS0. Also, what's up, Pixel? So hold on, I don't know if I missed something in chat. But yeah, I mean, you literally just have to make the map as easy as possible or people will find something to complain about Wispy. I wouldn't take it personally at all. And frankly, if you find a 9-minute easy hard to SS, then you are not a good enough SS player. I'm just saying Zalaria and Sleep Tiner would not care at all. They would do it no problem. And yeah, that's awesome, Wispy. That should give you more motivation to do the projects you want to do, rather than just making the bare minimum. It's clearly paying off. And obviously, most importantly, you should do it for your own self-satisfaction, but getting other people you respect to like your work is obviously an insane morale boost, too. To keep doing projects like that. Never seen Sleep Signer complain about anything. That's true. I mean, I think I've seen him complain when like a map is like truly really annoying to assess. But he doesn't complain and be like, oh, this is impossible. He's just like, I need to keep trying. I keep messing up this one pattern. I need to play it better. He had a good mindset. Yeah, what's the play count on it so far? Yeah, I wish Sleep Tiner kept playing. It's a shame he doesn't really play as much anymore. Yeah. I mean, that sounds low, but I do have to remember that, like, it's not been ranked for that long, and it's 9 minutes. Yeah, 1.4k on just the top already. Yeah, and it's a 9-minute marathon, so, like, most people will not want to immediately play that, most likely. So that's pretty good. Hopefully it's one of those kind of map sets that gains more play count over time. But either way, that's nice, Wispy. I'm happy for you. Personally, I would have wished you kept score farming, but I guess this works too. And yeah, that's completely understandable from him. And I'm sure he wouldn't be that happy about Slider anyways. Because Slider also changes fundamentally how SS farming works. Because frankly, SS farming on laser is just literally harder because of it. There's no getting around it. Slider in 0 cases makes it easier to SS farm. Yeah. He likes to torture himself. That's true. I think for him that's not as much of a concern, but yeah. Leaderboards and stuff for sure. And to be fair, like, at any point, they still are gonna plan on fixing mod multipliers, but they've made no announcements or progress on it, so we are just stuck in limbo for now about it. I mean, frankly, what they should have done, in my opinion, is if they were gonna like wait a long time to change mod multipliers, the bare minimum they could have done is just make mod multipliers the exact same and score the exact same until they need to change it. Instead of having a weird and broken system on laser that no one likes and that doesn't frankly make much sense in the interim. Or just even make laser scores not count towards rank score or scores in general. I feel like they chose like one of the worst ways to go about it. Like worse in terms of complexity and players like approving and disapproving. Like there was no point to like change some things and then not fully commit to it and then leave it alone for the amount of time that they have. They really didn't need to do it that way. But whatever. I'm just a player. What do I know? Related to Osu, but not exactly related to the conversation at hand. I've actually been uh, enjoying some Osu. Like, I'm doing, like, right now 50-50 on playing hard maps to, like, improve / de-rust. And 50% now on fixing old scores. Mainly FCing maps ranked before I started doing completion. So before the start of 2019. Apparently only myself and Wimpin have at least 50,000 FCs on maps ranked before January 1st, 2019. I'm at like 50.9k and then he's at like 54.6k. That guy's crazy. I mean, to be fair, I do feel like a lot of his scores, he just played no mod when he could have DT'd or maybe could have DT'd, but still. It's impressive regardless. Also, goodbye to that gravel, wow. That is a far... How far of a drop is that? Oh, wow. That is like a 60 block drop from that point right there. I can't even use one rocket to get out of there currently. That's actually kind of absurd. I should be wimping at what exactly? Unless you just mean beat him up. IRL. I don't want to go to Germany for that, man. I don't even have, like, my passport's expired, so I should really work on getting my passport renewed, honestly. Probably not a bad idea. True, true. Honestly, I think it would be fun, though, for me to try and get close to Wimpin on FC count on, like, older maps. Because I feel like it's impossible for me to give up score farming completely. But I think it'd be cool to finally start fixing all of my old troll scores. Like, I'm actually enjoying doing that now. I feel like I wasn't really enjoying that until recently. Maybe I could even stream it. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't really want to do it on modern maps until I literally run out of old maps, I guess. But I still have, like, I think 7,000 non-FCs on maps ranked before 2019. So there's plenty of maps for me to fix. Yeah, when in doubt, start from pack 1. I actually have a lot of non-FCs, probably on pack 1, but also 2007 maps in general. I think I just played them when I wasn't comfortable with old maps yet. And then never went back to actually fix them. Yeah. I was surprised to see that you were number 6 on most FCs on maps ranked before 2019. But then I realized the reason for that is because, like, there's Wimpin, there's myself, then there's Zasuma, but then Sleep and Zalaria. It kind of skipped over my mind that an SS also does count as an FC. That is funny. Yeah, she has a scary amount of SS's. Now, of course, again, I like most SS players, she's definitely undermodding a lot of maps, but like, it's still impressive regardless. Lapis. Yeah, I don't know. If that's something you guys are interested in, then maybe I could stream myself doing some non-FC fixes on stream sometime. Yeah, I can't imagine playing hidden only, especially on anything lower than 8 or 9 approach rate. Yeah, that too. When you're so used to playing low stars, higher stars feels a lot harder. That's kind of why I'm still doing like 50-50 on playing hard maps, but also fixing maps. Because, like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I could do that tomorrow. I would still want to do some digging, of course, but maybe we could do a little bit of both. I don't work tomorrow, so that could work. Yeah. I do wish she spent a little more time playing harder maps though, like not for SS, just for like playing them, because then she could unlock even more maps that SS. Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of like 5 and maybe even low 6-star maps that are legitimately easier to SS than some of the maps in the 4-star and below range. Like at least on like a tapping basis. Like there's a lot of really simple maps. You just need to be able to aim them. Aim. Yeah. We don't have that many really good like SS players, unfortunately. Like 7, 8-star level. I think the closest we have is Bocce Cookie. But But she doesn't really SS farm, like, for the pure number of SSs, I think. Or at least not as hard as, like, you know, Sleep and Zal ever did. I don't think she really wants to go by William or Will, by the way. Oh, there's more here. Yeah, fair enough. But I think that's part of the reason for the name change, because she transitioned pretty recently, like within the last year or two. Is there more that I have to deal with? I think maybe that's fine now. Let me get the cobwebs. Alright, where was I? I was over here. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, you don't really use, like, Twitter very much, so you wouldn't have known from there. Dead website. So I'll need to switch out the shovel here in a moment. Yeah. Honestly, I pretty much don't use social media much anymore at all now. Like, I think people have noticed that I hardly post anything on any social media anymore, really. It's just not fun anymore. Wait, what did I just pick up? Oh. No. I don't know, it's just like, it's just not fun. Internet is dead, pretty much. Yeah, it's just not the same anymore. Now it's just filled with weird and gross people. Okay, actually, the internet's always been filled with weird and gross people, but now it's like not even the fun weird and gross people. Now it's just the hateful ones. They're socially accepted now. Really should never be. Really need to start normalizing bullying people for being way too weird and gross. Normalize being normal. True, true. Thankfully, the people who tune into this, for the most part, are pretty normal and chill, so... Block button is way better. Oh, yeah. Ignoring people usually makes people, like, find it less interesting to be engaging in that behavior. But at the same time, there's so many of these people now that you really need to, like, make sure that they don't spread and multiply even more. Like, at some point you have to address it. You can't ignore it. But on, like, a normal day-by-day basis, ignoring them usually is best case. Like what you should be doing. Okay, I don't think we need to castrate people. I just mean we need to educate them on how to be normal, functioning people. I personally think being violent towards them is not necessary. Educating them might be tough. I mean, you don't need to do it in like a necessarily a classroom setting. You can teach them by example, by shaming them. You don't need to put a book in front of them. You just need to show them what they're doing is wrong. I feel like that kind of thing works best against people who are very ignorant. Because, like, just teaching them by telling them doesn't really do much. Because if you don't want to listen, you don't have to listen. But it's hard to ignore an example that's, like, right in front of you. Basically, you need to flip their ignorance on them and shame them. Of course, that doesn't work with everyone, because a lot of people apparently don't have shame. But I think there's a lot of people out there that are ignorant, but not, like, unsavable. Like, you just have to work with the people who you can save, and then just outnumber and out-vocalize the people who aren't savable, basically. Maybe this is blissful ignorance on my part, but I still think the majority of people in most societies can be persuaded to believe in good things and not be completely hateful. And likewise, there's also going to be a subset of people that will always be hateful and never will try and learn to be normal. And that's fine as long as you deal with it in a way that's like you just have to out vocalize and outdo and like politically maneuver around these people in a way that doesn't give them any representation. Especially if they are the minority of people in the society anyways. Like there's some minority groups that obviously you should let be represented and some you really shouldn't. Basing it on race or whatever, obviously not a good idea because that's not something you can control. But like ignorance is something you can work around. But that requires strong leadership. And I feel like, at least in my country, there is no strong leadership except among the most ignorant, unfortunately. And yeah, that too. Most people are a victim of the environment they grow up in. But you do have to remember that some people just are going to be like psychopaths or sociopaths just by genetics. But obviously that's not the majority of people, so the way you deal with that is you just don't give that tiny subset of the population who you literally can't deal with a huge voice in everyday conversation. So let me see. This is 16, so I just need to go to 18. One below. What's up, Muppet? How you doing? Nope. You pick up one of these dirt blocks again. There we go. Let me do something before I forget. There we go. Yeah. Or follow fake strong people. The only issue with that is you just that's hard to teach without being biased. Not much, Muffin. I'm just digging. It's okay, you are allowed to say that. I think I need to build a path here. Dang, where's all the dirt blocks? Okay. There we go. Hey, yeah, that is pretty silly. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna quickly use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. What's up, guys? Hi. That is not dirt. Beautiful. So I don't really understand the hitbox of those crystals. I feel like I was walking inside of it. Alright. Oof. I'm starting to get pretty hungry, honestly, so I might actually end stream in a few minutes here. I'll do one more run around. And then, yeah, like I said, I also have things I need to do today, so... Yeah, but then you'll have conservatives in this country being like, actually, this guy has a left-wing agenda, so we will not believe him. The left-wing agenda in question being basic facts. Blocketics, Blocks News. I love Blocks News spreading the chunk agenda. Yeah, I don't know. It feels really weird to even categorize facts and knowledge as left wing. I feel like that's literally just like it's common sense. It's basic. Like there's nothing left wing about basic facts of reality. Like to me that makes no sense. Like that's where everyone should be, and then from there you can agree or disagree on what to do with that information, you know? Also, yeah, that's one too low, so we'll do that. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't use common sense because it really doesn't seem to be common anyways. Or it's used as a crutch for believing really stupid things. In fact, you moved around yesterday. Conservatives will be like, no, you didn't. In fact, something happened. Right wing, no, it didn't. That's pretty much how it goes, though. Like, actually. Source? Can I get a source on that? Yeah, I don't even know if we can agree on pure Ruby as a society. That's how messed up it is. Oh, there's another dungeon here. Take it away. Oh, jeez. Hold on. This is a spider dungeon? It seems like it. Do I have any torches or a light source of any kind? I have lava. There we go. Anything cool? Anything cool? Got cat? I'll actually take the coal and gunpowder. Oh, I'm actually full on gunpowder in my inventory. Cool. I mean, I already have diamond horse armor. That's not really that cool. Yeah, also, if the source isn't the sources I already trust, then it can't be true. Obviously. Oh wait, I don't have food. I have put diamond horse armor in a horse. Remember the horse in the wall? Alright, but yeah, like I said, guys, as soon as I reach this corner here, I'm gonna end stream today. Did about 2 hours. It's pretty good. It is an acceptable amount of mining. And then we're getting pretty close, guys. It's just this and then the next 2 layers, and then we're done with this ring. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. I will be back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do some digging and then maybe some Osu as well. Perhaps. I think it'd be fun to do a little bit of FC fixing on stream. But yeah. Anyways, have a good one.